Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is RENDOG coming at you from the Mole City Bazaar construction site in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. In the previous episode, we were working on getting our villagers in the mood to breed, and we also started working on the foundations for what is going to become a giant-ass shopping center in the heart of Mole City. And in this episode, my friends, we're going to continue working on this foundation, and we're also going to be setting up a categorization system for this giant-ass shopping center. Sit back and relax, my friends. Let's play some freaking Minecraft survival. Man, guys, I have just got home from work, and I am so freaking excited, man. I logged into Minecraft to make today's episode, and I heard the sound of babies. Oh yes, there are babies. Hippolyta and Griswold have been getting busy. And check it out, we got a mini Griswold over here, man. So actually, all of the work we did in the previous episode paid off. And the villagers actually bred. They made some babies. And I think there's another one around here too. I think there's a little girl around here somewhere, man. I've heard the sound of her joyous voice bellowing across the Mole City district. Or the Mole district, for that matter. Anyway, the point is, Griswold and Hippolyta, man, they got in the mood, and we have got some new citizens of Mole City. And that means these are 1.8 villagers too. So that means we're going to be able to trade with them, and they're going to have some new 1.8 tradeage, which is sweet. And this freaking golem is breaking our croppage over here, man. Get out of here, you butthole! You are breaking the croppage! Stop it! Anyway, man, I'm so happy about this. Check it out. We got a new little baby. That is so awesome. So guys, I was coming home today from work, and I was on the bus trying to figure out what I was going to do in today's episode. And let me tell you something, man. I just couldn't wait to get home today to play Minecraft. I don't know, I'm just in such a Minecraft mood at the moment. And man, every day I get home, I'm like, oh man, if I get home early enough, then I play some Minecraft, but most of the time I'm getting home really late, and it's just a little bit too late to record. But today I've got some time, and man, I just can't wait for today's episode. And on the bus from work today, I was thinking about the Mole City Bazaar, right? And I was reading the comments of the previous video, and man, thanks to everybody who was leaving comments. Thanks for all the awesome comments in the previous video, guys. There were so many, man. It was insane. But one of you guys, oh man, one of you guys had such a sweet idea for the name of the Mole City Bazaar. And in the previous episode, I mentioned that I kind of wanted to make like a Walmart in Mole City. And one of you cyberdogs in the previous episode, in the comment section of the previous episode anyway, suggested, you said, RENDOG, why don't you call the Mole City Bazaar Molemart? How awesome is that, man? Freaking Molemart. That's just so perfect. So I'm going to be calling the Mole City Bazaar the Molemart Bazaar. And thanks to the Cyberdog who had that excellent idea, man. That is a really sweet idea. So from now on, the official name of the shopping center of Mole City is the Molemart Bazaar. And man, that's awesome. And what we're going to be doing in today's episode, guys, is working out the categorization system for the Molemart Bazaar. When I was on the bus today, I actually started writing down all the items that I wanted to keep inside of this shop. And essentially what this shop is going to be is like a storage facility for us in Mole City. And what I'd like to do, and this was actually suggested by quite a few of you cyberdogs, is set up like a currency system, right? And what we could do is use emeralds as our currency. And what we could try and do is like set up the shop that if I wanted to get something from the shop, I'd have to give the shop some emeralds. But I think we'll get to that way down the line once the shop is in more of a... Once the shop looks more like a shop and not just a whole bunch of dirt. But while I got deeper into the topic, I suddenly realized that actually this is going to be a little bit more of a complicated project than I had originally anticipated. And it got me thinking about my storage facility in my Feed the Beast series. For those of you guys who haven't watched that series yet, links in the description box below. Go check it out. But in that Feed the Beast series, man, we have like a ton of items inside of a storage room. And suddenly I realized that we're going to have essentially the same thing inside of the Molemart Bazaar. And what I think we need to do, guys, is we need to take a step back from this build, and we need to categorize the items that we're going to be sticking inside of this build. And what I thought we could do was we could break the shop up into like subsections, right? Stick with me, Cyberdogs. It's all going to make sense in a moment. So we could have like some overarching subsections inside of Molemart. So for example, we could have a section of Molemart that was the food section. And then we could have a section in Molemart that was the DIY section. Then we could have a section that would be the home improvement section. And if we break it up like that, I think it'll give us a much better idea of how many shelves or how many chests we're going to need inside of our shopping center, and exactly how much space we're also going to need in that. So why don't we have a go at setting up like a categorization system? And this is how we're going to do it, right? So let's work on the first section of Molemart. And why don't we say that the first section of Molemart is going to be food, right? So in the food section, we're going to have a bakery. And in the bakery, we're going to have like bread, cookies, cake, sugar, like all of the stuff that has something to do with bakery. Then, of course, we're going to have the butcher, right? And that's gonna have everything that we need from a meat perspective. So we'll keep our steaks and our mutton and our chops and our chicken in the butcher's section of the food section of Molemart. And then the final section for the food section is going to be fruit and veg, right? And here we'll keep like all of our apples and melons and potatoes and carrots and whatnot. So this is basically going to be like an aisle of Molemart, right? It'll be like the food aisle or the food section. But as we go deeper into the items of Minecraft, what we realize is there's actually a lot more. There is a ridiculous amount of stuff actually in Minecraft. I've never actually stopped to think about how much stuff there is in Minecraft, but actually, guys, there's a redonkulous amount of stuff. So, for example, if we wanted to go to the next section of Molemart, why don't we call the next section DIY, right? And under DIY, we have a ton of stuff, right? So for example, we would have a section for home improvement, right? And this section is going to be dedicated to like everything that we could use to improve our home. For example, paintings, glowstone, glass, beds, signage, all that sort of sweet jazz that makes our home look a lot better. Then we could have a section for, give me 1 second. I actually need to consult my notes at this point. Home goods. That's the next section. And home goods is stuff like furnaces, cauldrons, crafting tables, all the tools that you can get for your home, like bowls and all of that sort of jazz. And the final section of DIY could be tools, right? And that could be like shovels, axes, shears, all of that sort of jazz. But what we could also stick in DIY is smaller subsections, right? So we could have a section over here, say, for gardening. And in gardening, we would keep all of our seeds and our saplings and our flowers and all of that sort of stuff. And there's probably a few more sections in DIY. Why don't you guys have a think, man? Let me know in the comment section below or on dogcraft.net. If you have any improvements to my categorization system over here. But I tell you what, guys, I'm going to carry on with this categorization system. I'm going to get as far as I can. I'll bring you back on the other side of this plan and we'll have a look. And then after that, we'll get cracking on working on the foundations. And guys, I've got a really sweet story to tell you today also. I realized that I haven't actually told you guys a story in Season 4 yet. So it's about time for a freaking Season 4 story. See you in a second. Cyber Diggity Dogs compliant. Alright, Cyberdogs, welcome back. I've just been trying to sort out the categorization for the Molemart shelves. And let me tell you guys, man, this is going to be one complicated ass build. But anyway, let's see how far I've got. So I've got a section for the pharmacy. And then inside of the pharmacy, we're going to have the apothecary. So that's going to be everything that we need for our brewing stand, like eyeballs and all of that jazz to make potions. We'll have our nether goods. So in here, we'll have like nether wart and blaze rods and all of that good stuff. And we'll have an oddities bin. And in here, we'll stick like ender eyes and all of that really weird stuff that you get in Minecraft that you wouldn't be able to really put in any other category. I also have a redstone and rails section. So here we'll be able to pick up rail goods, redstone machines, and just plain old redstone. We've got a section for construction, and in construction we'll have carpentry for wood, we'll have masonry for stone and cobblestone and all of that sweetness, and we'll have miscellaneous materials like wool and all of that sort of jazz there. And then on this side we've already seen this, we've got food and we've got DIY over here. So this is kind of my first take at categorization for Molemart, and obviously this isn't representative of the amount of shelves that we're going to need, because in bakery, for example, we're going to need 5 shelves for bakery, right? Because we're going to need a shelf for bread, cookies, cake, sugar, and wheat, right? So we're going to need at least 5 shelves for bakery. So the bakery section of the food section is basically going to be its own aisle, and then the butcher will be its own aisle. So essentially, let's try and work this out, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's just say there's 15 categories in Molemart. And that's without like counting any other categories that we may have missed. So let's say there's 20 categories in Molemart, right? And each of those categories is going to take up an aisle in Molemart. And each of those categories is going to be 5 shelves deep, right? That means that we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's like an aisle. And this aisle equals, what, 10 categories? Yeah, so that's going to be 10 categories. So then we need a little bit of space up in here to like walk around. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think my maths may be failing right now. There's an alarm bell going off in my head saying, "RENDOG'S, stop doing maths on a YouTube video because you are failing miserably." So I'm gonna take a nap, and I'm gonna try this maths again. But I have a feeling that I may have just failed. I think our babies may have grown up, actually. Before we actually continue on this, let's see if we have some new traits. Is this son of Griswold over here? Or is this Griswold? No, that's Griswold. Where is son of Griswold? Oh, there he is. He's fully grown. Okay, awesome. Let's see what son of Griswold has to trade with us. Some rotten flesh for an emerald. That is actually a really awesome deal, because we get a ton of rotten flesh from the butthole. What else have you got? 10 gold for an emerald. You can forget about that one. You can forget about that one, son of Griswold. You're never getting any gold from me. And I'm sure is there a daughter of Griswold around here somewhere? Oh, yes, there is. Look, it's a daughter. So weird. Right, let's see what she has to offer. I think she's a butcher, right? So 15 raw pork chops for an emerald. That's not a really good deal. Or 14 chicken for an emerald. That's not a really good deal either. I'm not gonna lie. So our new villagers are not really, I mean, son of Griswold, like we can turn all of that rotten flesh that we've gathered over 3 episodes, or 3 seasons rather, into emeralds. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, awesome. Right, so back to categorization for Molemart over here, guys. Alright, Cyberdogs, welcome back to the Molemart construction site. And I've just been doing a little bit of maths off camera because I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the entire internet. And what I've come to realize is that we're going to need a lot more space in Molemart. If we want to get shelves up for all of the items in Minecraft that we want to keep inside of Molemart, we're going to need some more space. So what I've done over here is made up like a mock-up version of what the aisles might look like. And I mean, already you can see that it's pretty tight up in here, man. Damn. So for example, I mean, this pole is like, or this little thing here is just to represent the aisle. But for example, if these leaves were to represent the chests that are going to be holding the items, if we have leaves on both sides of the aisles over here like this, right? We only have like one block wide worth of laneage, if you will, and that's just not enough space. I mean, we've got a really big space to work with over here, right? We can work with all of this space behind Beatrice's courtyard, and we can also work with all of this space in this direction too. So there's absolutely no reason why we should confine ourselves to such a small space. And if this section over here, so if this aisle and this aisle are going to be in the food section, that is already, this space is already just for the food section. And to think we've got like 5 different categories over there. and we want to make more space over here. So, I mean, essentially, we'd probably be moving everything. We probably want to move everything like 2 blocks in this direction, right? So, for example, we probably want our aisles to be this kind of thickness. Let's just take all of this jazz down. So we probably want our aisle to be like 2 blocks wide, right? So we could put our other row of chests like that. I mean, aisles in shopping centers are generally quite tight. You know what I mean? I mean, they are, like, we don't want to put too much space in between them, because then it's just going to feel a little bit, it's going to be too much space. I think that kind of works quite nicely. Yeah, that feels like a decent aisle. So this amount of space is just for 2 aisles worth of the food section of Molemart. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks wide. So if we have 5 categories that require 2 aisles inside of Molemart, and they are 6 blocks wide, that means we need 30 blocks wide worth of space just to get the aisles into the shop itself. So I think that means we need to head in this direction and expand the floor space of Molemart, basically. And we also need to clean up all of this jazz over here too. But the sun is going down, so let's go have a little bit of a nap. I think I'm gonna spend every night in a different apartment. I mean, I built them after all, right? Like, I should be allowed to sleep wherever I freaking want. Hey, what is going on in here? What was going on? You, little lady, are too young to be having a boyfriend. You've just been freaking born, man. Take it easy. Right, so it's pretty obvious we need to make Molemart bigger. So let's get freaking cracking over here, man. Our croppage is growing really nicely over here. That's awesome. And while I was traveling home on the bus today from work, guys, I was thinking about Molemart, and I was thinking about the categorization system, and it reminded me of a memory that I wanted to share with you guys. And it's actually a really awesome memory that I haven't thought about in a really, really long time. And the more that I thought about this, the more that I realized that this memory may have actually been one of the reasons why I am playing Minecraft with you guys right now. I don't know, I kind of had like a little epiphany, I guess, like a miniature epiphany, where I suddenly realized that maybe something that happened to me when I was a child has actually affected my life all the way through since that day. And this memory that I have is actually one of the earliest memories that I have as a child, and on top of that, it's one of my only and one of my earliest memories of my father. Now, for those of you guys who are new to the RENDOG channel, and maybe you guys don't know me that well yet, and hopefully you're getting to know me by watching my freaking videos and watching season 1, 2, and 3, am I right? But for those of you guys who don't know me that well, my father passed away when I was really young. So when I was 6 years old, my father passed away. And if I'm honest with you, I have very few memories of him, and man, I'm failing so hard here. I do not have a lot of memories of my dad, but I do have a couple of memories. And every now and then I like to share these memories with you guys, because whenever I have these kinds of memories, they sort of spark like other ideas inside of my brain. And I like sharing this with you guys because a lot of you out there have similar experiences. And then I read the comment section of the video, and a lot of you guys are like, yeah, RENDOG, like I feel similar things, or I've had a similar memory to that, or the same thing sort of happened to me. And I don't know, man, it's just freaking sweet to share this sort of stuff with you guys. But this is one of the very first memories that I have with my father, and this memory involves one of my favorite toys of all time. And for those of you guys who don't know me, man, can you guess what one of my favorite toys of all time is? It's freaking Lego, man. My brother and I, the real Gox, we have been playing Lego since we could move. Lego is I just love Lego so much. It definitely was my favorite toy as a child. And Lego is probably the toy that I remember the best. I think I had the best times of my life playing Lego. And one of the very first memories that I have of my dad involves Lego. And when I was 6 years old, I had Lego, but I didn't have like really advanced Lego. I had like those really big blocks. You know, they're massive baby Legos, basically. But because my brother was a couple years younger than me, we basically had like doubled up on Lego, right? So my parents had bought me a set of this Lego and bought my brother another set too. So we had a ridiculous amount of blocks. And I remember that what I liked to do when I was 6 years old is I liked to separate the colors of the Lego blocks and stick them into separate containers. So my brother and I had like 4 or 5 really big containers that held our Lego pieces. And what I would do is I would stick like all of the yellow Lego into one container and then all of the green Lego into another one. And I guess even at 6 years old, I had OCD, and I just couldn't freaking handle the Lego being mixed up inside of those containers. And after my brother and I would finish playing Lego and we'd like build stuff and do stuff, I mean, we were literally just, I didn't even know if we were building anything that could be recognized. We were probably just like making columns and stuff like that. I don't know what babies do with Lego, but after one of these sessions, I packed up the Lego and I stuck all of the different colored Lego into their different cases like I usually did. And I was sticking them under the bed in our room, and that's where we kept them. And my dad came into my room, and I remember, I don't even remember what we spoke about, but what I remember was him stopping me putting those containers under the bed, and he kind of looked at the Lego inside of the containers, and I think he probably thought, oh man, like what is this kid doing? Like why is he sorting out this Lego, man? My child's got OCD. This is really bad. And basically what my dad did was he took all of the containers from under the bed and emptied them out onto the floor in front of me. And I remember at the time being really, really upset with him because he was basically going against what my brain considered the norm, right? Like I needed to sort that colored Lego out, man. I needed to get the yellow blocks into the yellow container, the green blocks into the green container, and there comes my dad. And he pours all of that jazz onto the floor into the middle of the room. All mixed up, all the colors, all freaking haywire, everything out of place. And my OCD is kicking in like nobody's business. And I don't really remember that much about the incident, but I do remember my dad saying to me, it's much better to mix up these colors because you can make much more interesting things. I mean, I don't know the exact words what he said to me, but I guess what he was trying to say to me was, if you keep everything the same color, you limit your options, right? Because then you can only do so many things. Like if you keep all of the yellow blocks together in a yellow block section, then when it comes to actually building Lego, you're only going to be making, I don't know, what yellow inspires you, right? What yellow inspires you to make. But if you have a mixture of like yellow and green and purple, maybe that mixture will inspire you to create something different. And maybe, just maybe, mixing all of the blocks up makes for more like of a creative experience or creative mind. Of course, I was 6 years old and I didn't understand that at the time. But on the bus back from work today, I suddenly realized what my dad was trying to teach me in that lesson. Like, mix up the blocks, man. Keep that jazz all mixed up. Don't compartmentalize your creativity because you essentially stifle yourself, right? You stifle yourself if you keep all of your colors in containers and you don't mix them up. And what I realized was this philosophy has actually become a part of my life in more than one way. I would say that most of my life is completely mixed up. Even though I have like serious OCD in computer games and I sometimes like to keep things in order, I'm generally a pretty messy person. I mean, my apartment is a bit of a mess most of the time. Like, unless I have company, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a fun lady comes to visit, oh, then I'm a cleaner and I'm sorting that jazz. Then my apartment's going to be like really, really spick and span. Everything's going to be in order. But generally speaking, like now, right, where I'm going to work, coming home, and like, playing some Minecraft, making some videos, my place is pretty much in complete disarray. Them Lego blocks are all over the show, man. And I would say pretty much the same as in my brain. Like, my brain is just an amalgamation of Lego blocks, just absolute chaos, basically. But from that chaos has come this world. Has come this Minecraft world, has come the Cyberdog Nation. So, you know what? There's order to that chaos, and maybe that's what my father was trying to teach me, man. That chaos in a creative sense is a good thing. And yeah, I mean that's that's basically all I have to say about that. It was a pretty sweet story that I thought about today and wanted to share with you guys. Man, if you guys have had similar experiences, or let me know what you think about this chaos theory that I present to you. Is it good to mix up the Lego blocks? Is it good to mix them colors up to inspire yourself and to ensure that your brain is always trying to work out new patterns and trying to figure out like new stuff? Personally, I think it is. But man, in all of that time that I've been warbling on about my brain and about life in general, I've managed to finish the shelf layout for Molemart over here. And it looks like we've got quite a lot of shelf space over here, which is a good thing. It looks like we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, basically 9 shelves over here, right? So that's pretty good. I think that's probably more than enough shelf space. What I do feel though is that I want Molemart to go in this direction perhaps. Although we have come into the side of a mountain over here, right? So I don't know how much further, and this goes down into that giant ass cavern down there. I don't know how much further we want to dig into this mountain over here. But this looks like a lot of space. This is like a decent amount of space up in this jazz, man. I think what we probably want to do is just push it out a little bit more, I think. So I'm going to do that, Cyberdogs. I'll bring you back on the other side of this kaplam, and we'll have a final look at the foundations for Molemart Bazaar before we end today's episode. I'll see you on the other side of this kaplam once I've slept this night away. Kaplam. Alright my friends, welcome back for the last time in this episode to the construction site of Molemart, and I have been one busy as dog, man. It is starting to look freaking sweet over here, man. I've also brought these chests down so that we can start putting away all of these materials that are clogging up our freaking inventory at the moment. But let me get up here, guys, to show you what exactly I've done over here. And as you can see, Molemart is starting to take shape. Even though it's in dirt, we can start to see like how massive this superstore is going to be. Man, it is going to be so sweet. And we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aisles in Molemart right now. And what I've done is I've pushed this wall back toward the Nether Portal Temple over there, and that's going to give us a little bit of space on both sides of the aisles. It gives us 3 blocks wide worth of space, and it also means we can increase the length of the aisles if we need to add some more shelf space to the actual store. What I've also done is decided to preserve the integrity of this tree over here. This tree has been with us since season 1, and it's kind of like Beatrice's tree, and there's no ways that I can take this tree down. So we're going to be building Molemart around this tree, and we're going to be conserving this tree over here. So I'm sure that'll make tons of you Cyberdogs out there very, very happy. That tree is not going to die, guys. Do not freaking worry, man. But as you can see, Molemart is starting to take shape, looking really awesome. We set up our categorization system really nicely. Our villagers have started to breed, and we have a couple of new people in the Mole district of Mole City, so things are looking good for season number 4, guys. I am so freaking happy right now, man, and there's only one more thing to do, guys, and that is to add 8 more of you cyber diggity dogs to the Dogolith. Oh, hello there, Cyberdogs. Welcome to the Dogolith. We've got 8 more of you guys to add for this episode in season number 4. Without further ado, starting with YouTube subscribers, we have got Dragons Crafted, Bass Bruiness, Ice is Nice, and Doggy1781. Welcome to the Dogolith, my friends. You've been immortalized in the interbubs forever. And now from dogcraft.net, the official Cyberdog fan community, we have got Chicken Scratch 903. Tomato Damashi, Chance Warden, and Elixification. Welcome to the Dogolith, my friends, and remember, guys, if you want to stand a chance of being added to the Dogolith, you need to be a subscriber of the RENDOG channel, and you need to leave me a comment on one of my videos. I choose you guys randomly from the comments of my videos. You can also go to dogcraft.net, the official Cyberdog fan community, and leave your YouTube username in a thread on that forum, and I choose you guys randomly from that thread also. And remember, guys, if you have just joined the Cyberdog Nation and you have not watched any other seasons before season number 4, I'm angry with your ass, and you better watch season 1 to season 3, or I'ma stick this hot ass potato straight up the crack of your ass. And let me tell you, this sucker has come straight out of the oven, and you do not want it anywhere near your butthole. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been RenDoG'S playing Minecraft Survival. Cannot wait to see you in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.